Once upon a time, far, far away, there was a kingdom. But this was no ordinary kingdom. It was a place where the impossible was possible, and the ordinary was extraordinary. It was not your typical kingdom. The buildings were unlike anything you've ever seen. They twisted and turned in ways that defied logic and gravity. Oh no, this one was unique. Everything was topsy-turvy. The people were silly. They loved to laugh. They walked on their hands and danced on their heads. Their laughter echoed through the streets, creating a symphony of joy and mirth. They sang when they were sad and cried when they were happy. It was a place where emotions were expressed in the most unexpected ways. A tear could mean joy, and a smile could hide sorrow. It was all very confusing. The townsfolk often found themselves puzzled by their own actions and the actions of others. But in this kingdom, confusion was just another form of entertainment. The animals were strange too. They behaved in ways that no one could predict. They were as whimsical as the people who lived there. Cats barked, dogs meowed. The animals seemed to have their own set of rules, completely different from the rest of the world. Even the sun rose in the west and set in the east. Time itself seemed to follow a different path in this magical land. This was the kingdom of fools, ruled by a king as foolish as his subjects. The king, with his whimsical crown and scepter, was the epitome of the kingdom's spirit. He made decisions that made no sense, but somehow everything worked out in the end. The king's laws were as silly as he was. One day, he decreed that everyone must wear their shoes on their hands. The next, he declared that all doors should be painted upside down. The townsfolk followed these absurd rules with glee, finding joy in the absurdity. The kingdom was also known for its unique celebrations. They had festivals for the most peculiar reasons. There was a day to celebrate the color blue, another to honor the art of sneezing, and even a festival dedicated to the sound of silence. At night, the kingdom transformed into a magical wonderland. The buildings glowed with a soft, enchanting light. The stars seemed to dance in the sky, casting a spell of tranquility over the land. Despite the chaos and confusion, the people of the kingdom of fools were happy. They found joy in the little things and embraced the absurdity of their world. It was a place where laughter was the best medicine, and happiness was the ultimate goal. And so the kingdom of fools thrived, a testament to the power of joy and the beauty of embracing the unexpected. It was truly a kingdom like no other. The king had a trusted advisor, his minister. They were inseparable, always seen together, and their bond was as strong as it was peculiar. They were two peas in a pod. Both were incredibly foolish, often engaging in the most absurd antics that left the entire court in stitches. They made the strangest laws that defied logic and reason, laws that turned the kingdom upside down and inside out.
From this day forth, night shall be day, and day shall be night, the king declared with a grand flourish, his voice echoing through the kingdom.
And so it was. The kingdom adapted to this new decree with surprising swiftness, as if they had been waiting for such a change all along. People woke up at sunset, their bodies adjusting to the new rhythm imposed by their whimsical rulers, and went to bed when the sun rose. The bright morning light became their signal to rest, a complete reversal of the natural order. They ate dinner for breakfast and breakfast for dinner. The hearty meals that once started their day now ended it, and light breakfasts became the fuel for their nocturnal activities. The kingdom was in a constant state of confusion. People stumbled through their days, or rather nights, trying to make sense of the topsy-turvy world they now inhabited, but everyone thought it was normal. They embraced the chaos with a cheerful acceptance, finding joy in the absurdity of their new reality. After all, it was the kingdom of fools, a place where logic was turned on its head and the bizarre was celebrated. The villagers thrived in their foolishness, creating a unique harmony in their disordered lives. The king and his minister continued to concoct new laws, each more ridiculous than the last. They reveled in their creativity, believing that their whimsical rules brought a special charm to their kingdom. The villagers, ever adaptable, took each new decree in stride. They found ways to incorporate the absurdities into their daily lives, turning the nonsensical into the norm. Festivals were held under the moonlight, and the kingdom's nights were filled with laughter and merriment. The topsy-turvy laws had created a unique culture, one that was celebrated with gusto. The king and his minister were adored by their people, not despite their foolishness, but because of it. Their eccentricity was the heart of the kingdom's charm. The kingdom of fools thrived in its own peculiar way. Under the moonlight, the kingdom buzzed with activity, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of its people. As the king and his minister looked out over their kingdom, they felt a sense of pride. Their topsy-turvy laws had created a world unlike any other, a world where foolishness was the foundation of happiness. And so, the kingdom of fools continued to flourish, a beacon of whimsy and wonder, in a world that often took itself too seriously. Here, in this land of topsy-turvy laws, the foolish were the wisest of all. One day, a wise guru and his young disciple arrived at the kingdom. They had traveled far. They were tired and hungry.
What a strange place,
whispered the disciple, scratching his head. The guru smiled.
Indeed. Let us see what wisdom we can find in this kingdom of folly.
They entered the city. Immediately they were struck by the strange sights and sounds. People were laughing hysterically. Animals were behaving oddly. The guru and his disciple decided to visit the market. They needed food. They also wanted to see for themselves the ways of this peculiar kingdom. The market was a cacophony of sounds and smells. Donkeys were flying kites. Monkeys were selling bananas. Everything was topsy-turvy. The disciple was bewildered.
Master, why is everything so strange here?
The guru smiled.
Patience, my child, we shall soon find out.
Suddenly there was a commotion. A thief had been caught stealing. The guards dragged him to the market square.
"Silence!" shouted the head guard. "This man has committed a grave crime."
The crowd gasped. Stealing was a serious offense. Everyone waited with bated breath for the king's punishment. The king and his minister arrived. They looked at the thief with amusement. "The punishment for stealing," declared the king, "is to have a grand feast in your honor." The crowd cheered. The thief was ecstatic. He had never eaten so much in his life.
This is madness, exclaimed the disciple.
The guru nodded. Indeed, he said, but there is a lesson to be learned here.
The guru stepped forward. "Your Majesty," he said, "may I speak?" The king was surprised. No one had ever questioned his judgment before, but there was something about the guru's demeanor that commanded respect.
Go ahead, said the king, intrigued.
Your laws are topsy-turvy, the guru said. They reward the wrongdoers and punish the innocent.
Section 8. A New Dawn. The king listened intently. For the first time, he began to question his own wisdom. He looked at his kingdom, at the chaos and confusion. He realized the error of his ways.
You are right, I have been a fool.
Section 9. Lessons learned. The king immediately ordered the laws to be changed. He realized the importance of wisdom and justice.
Thank you, Guru, for opening my eyes.
The kingdom rejoiced. They were finally free from the tyranny of foolishness. From that day forward, the kingdom of fools was no more. It became a place of wisdom and prosperity. Section 10. The Power of Wisdom. In the heart of an ancient kingdom, there lived a revered guru and his devoted disciple. They were known far and wide for their profound wisdom and deep understanding of life's greatest truths. The guru and his disciples stayed in the kingdom for a while, sharing their wisdom. They held gatherings in the village square where people from all walks of life would come to listen. The young and old, rich and poor, all gathered to absorb the teachings that promised to transform their lives.
We must teach the people the importance of right and wrong. It is through understanding these fundamental principles that they can lead lives of integrity and purpose. The guru emphasized that morality was the cornerstone of a harmonious society.
They taught the people the importance of right and wrong. Through stories and parables, the guru illustrated the consequences of actions, both good and bad. The people began to see the value in making ethical choices, understanding that their actions had far-reaching effects.
True happiness comes from making wise choices. The disciple often reminded the people that wisdom was not just about knowledge, but about applying that knowledge in everyday life. It was about making decisions that led to long-term happiness and fulfillment.
The people learned their lessons well. They began to reflect on their actions and consider the impact of their choices. The teachings of the guru and his disciple resonated deeply within the community, sparking a transformation in the way people lived their lives. They realized that true happiness came from making wise choices. As they embraced the wisdom imparted to them, they found a sense of peace and contentment that had previously eluded them. The community grew stronger, united by a shared commitment to living wisely. And so the kingdom flourished, guided by the light of wisdom. The teachings of the guru and his disciple became the foundation upon which the kingdom was built. With wise leaders at the helm and a populace dedicated to ethical living, the kingdom thrived, becoming a beacon of hope and prosperity for all who lived there.